we are going to cut some lace on this crown. So here's what the lace attached looks like, okay? And we want to cut around our hairline. So first I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to gently brush her hair away from that lace. So I'm holding her this way, brushing away, okay? And I'm going to take a clip. I'm going to come over to where the ear tab is right here, and I'm just going to hold this lace like this, and I'm going to scoop this hair up and clip it down. So that way it's not going to fold back on me. Now, when it comes to the ear tab, you want to make sure that you pull that hair out of the way and that you're just working with the lace here. And I'm going to take just some straight scissors and I'm going to go inside here and cut right there where the ear tab is. Right in there, okay? And then I'm going to come up and you can see here's the hairline here. And I'm just going to cut right along that hairline. Now, what I can say is you will most likely cut some of the hair. That is okay. But you still want to go in very short little cuts like that. And you want to get close to that without going into it. And that way you're not taking off too much, because you can always take more off later. You can't put it back once you take it off. So here's what the hairline's going to look like. Here's the lace that we have cut off, okay? So now I'm at this spot where I don't have the clip. I'm just going to move my clip over, holding the lace. I'm going to scoop up that hair and clip that again so it's just away from me, okay? I'm going to take my scissors. I got a couple of rogue hairs going there. And I'm going to cut right up against that lace again, or that hairline. And I'm going to do that all the way around. Very short cuts. Don't want to get too excited and cut too much off. Like I said, you can always cut more later. And now we're back to this ear tab. I'm just going to pull that hair back so I can see it. And then I'm going to go down and cut that off. And that's what we're left with, this lace. And there will be a little bit of hair on there. So what my recommendation is to use a boar brush. And that will just grab those hairs that we cut and get them removed. And you can see I do have some in my brush. And then we're done. Okay? So that's one way. The other way to do it is exactly the same, but using pinking shears. What the pinking shears will do is cut it so it looks like that, so that it's jagged, right? And not perfectly straight all the way across. It's a preference thing. I don't mind either way. I do it both ways. I have the pinking shears, so I will use those sometimes, and sometimes I'll just do a straight cut. So it's really just your preference. But again, just make sure that you take off just right to the edge. And then if you want more, once you put your crown on, you can make some small adjustments. And then once you do that, again, I would brush your hair out with the boar hair here, because that's just going to grab those little pieces. Easy peasy. Okay. Why do they leave the lace on the wigs like this? Why? Well, some companies do that to protect the wig from being worn and then returned. Okay, so you'll find a lot of companies will offer to cut the lace for you, but if they cut the lace for you, you can't return the wig. If you buy the wig with the lace intact, you try it on and you don't like it, then usually, not all, so definitely check, but usually you can return it. So let's take a look at this one. This has the lace on. And I just want to see, do I like it or don't I? So this is Yandy Balayage, and she is petite, and I got her from Chelsea Smith Cosmetics. And let's give her a try on, and I'll show you what it looks like with the lace on. So I can still get a feel for whether or not I like her with the lace on, because it's not impacting anything, okay? But if I were to cut the lace and I didn't like her, I couldn't return her. And I know that Chelsea Smith does allow returns if the lace is not cut and the crown is in good order. So that's typically why some companies don't cut the lace. But yeah, if I wanted to keep her, then I would go ahead and cut the lace. I do want to keep her, just so you know. But that is why sometimes that lace is still on your crowns.